This is one of my favorite freestyles. Let's see if I can get into the camera really well. So, we are using the Beetles Base Coat Gel, 2 coats. We'll go in now with 1 coat of the Mamita. This is a nudie sheer gel coat. Gonna go in with a very sheer 1 coat. 1 coat is enough because we will be doing some ombre. We will be building with the ombre, so we don't need a heavy coat. The first bit of ombre will be with the blue, just a makeup wedge. It looks kind of squashed, but but it's okay, it does the job. When I ordered it off of Amazon, it came in a tightly pressed bag where all of the air was sucked out. So I guess that's why it looks this way, but it still functions as I need it to function. So this is going to be for the sky. It doesn't look like much to begin with, but it builds up quite nicely. And you just take a little bit. I like to start on the corners just to kind of make sure that I get the corners, because the corners can be overlooked if you're not careful. So we have to build this up. We're gonna go ahead and we will cure this for about 30 seconds. We're going to go ahead and put just a little bit more of the dark blue because we want just a wonderful payoff with the blue. So we will go back in again, just as we did before, going with the sides first, and then just pat. This is the Melody Susie gel polish. This came in a set, both the navy blue and the baby blue. Pat. It's coming along. What I like to do while it's curing, I like to go ahead and prepare my sponge. You might say, how much more ombreing is needed? Well, it depends on the payoff that you would like. I would like just a little bit more. So we're gonna go in. I want that to be very dark on the top there. Very nice. Very nice. It's coming along beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. It's not necessary to go in each time with both coats, with both colors. It just depends on what it is that you're really looking to achieve. So this is coming along quite nicely. I like the way this is looking. Looks very nice. Melody Susie has some of the most pigmented gel polishes at a wonderfully affordable price. One of the things that I like to do when I'm ombreing is to utilize more than, to utilize the sponge for more than one color if I'm using more than one. So we'll just cut this off. We're going to cut off the blue. And that leaves us with a clean sponge. The next colors that we will be using will be green. So we will use the green, and that will give us a lovely, 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 lovely color as well. So here we go with the green. You have to think about what it is that you're trying to achieve so that you can apply the colors where they would be best suited. So here we go. Now we have the sky, so now we're going to go ahead with making some grass. And again, I like to start kind of like on the corners. Okay. And that's looking really, really lovely. Yeah, it's looking nice. You just pat, 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 pat. Looks very nice. Again, because you're doing such a light, thin coat of the ombre, you don't need to cure for 60 seconds. 30 seconds is usually good. This is the canai. This is a beautiful green color. Another find on Amazon. And this is model 1. And this is a deeper green. And they're both on Amazon. So what is the payoff that we want here? We want to get the green, which is going to be the grass, and we want it to have different shades of green. Oh, that is coming along so beautifully. Isn't that just lovely? It's coming along really beautiful. Really beautifully. You just pat, 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 and be patient. Because I want a deeper green toward the bottom, I'm going to add a little bit more green, the darker green on the bottom. And I'm not going to add any more of the lighter green, just some of the darker green. And here we go again with green. Oh, this is coming along so beautifully. Wow. This really looks gorgeous. Look at that. Beautiful scenery. Now, while that is drying, I'm going to put a little tad bit of the dark green on my palette because I want to deepen up that green with some thin strokes. You'll see what I mean in just a second. It's so much fun creating this. A lot of fun. Now what we'll do is we will take a liner brush, a thin liner brush. We're going to roll it in our deep green. And what we're going to do is we're going to make some thin grass. So we'll just go a little bit. I'm going to put some darker on the bottom. Right. Gonna make it a little bit deeper on the bottom there. We're gonna, and this continues to keep our ombre. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead up just a little bit more with some of this green. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be beautiful. And we're going to cure that for 30 seconds. Now here comes time for some more fun. Melody Susie, we're going to take a little bit of this deep pink, this hot pink I should say. It's kind of like a hot Barbie pink, a little drop. The canai, it's a yellow. We're going to take a little bit of that. Going to put just a little bit here. Then we're going to take a little bit of the canai. It's a purple color. Going to take a little bit of that. Then we have a little bit of a periwinkle kind of color we're going to also add there. Now what we're going to do with those colors, we're going to get our dotting tool, two-sided dotting tool, and we're going to just dip that in our hot pink. And what we're going to do is we're going to create some flowers with this dotting tool. And we're just going to kind of spread them out here and there. Now we'll flip the dotting tool over, and then we're going to go in with the yellow to make some yellow flowers. And we're just going to go sporadically here and there, here and there. No rhyme or reason, just here and there. Now we're going to take another dotting tool, and we're going to go in with the purple. No rhyme or reason to it. Just wherever we feel to add some of the color. That's what we're doing. Then we flip the dotting tool, and then we're going to go with the periwinkle color. And this periwinkle color is very pretty. So we have all of those beautiful, beautiful colors. Now, what we're going to also do is we're going to cure this for about 30 seconds. We're going to put a little bit of black on the palette. Just a little bit, not too much, because it doesn't take much for what we're going to do. We cleaned off one of the smallest dotting tools that we have. And what we're going to do is we're going to now go in with some detailing with the flowers. We're going to put a little dot of black in the middle of each flower. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be beautiful. I hope I'm still in focus. And what you try to do is you're trying to get each flower, each dot, to make it look like a flower. Right? That's what we're trying to do. Wherever there's a color, we then go in with the black dot. It's so pretty, absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to cure this for 30 seconds. Our dotting tool gets a lot of use a lot of use. What we're going to do now with our dotting tool is we're going to make some clouds. We're going to take the small part of the dotting tool, we're going to dip it in there, and then we're just going to make some random little spots, and then kind of drag them out a little bit. Because clouds don't have any real uniformity to them. They're just clouds floating about, right? But they're beautiful. Remember, that's what we're looking for, just to make things beautiful. We can even add a little cloud over here that's kind of hiding. Yeah, I think that looks very nice. Yeah, that looks very nice. Just like clouds. I'm gonna cure this for 30 seconds. One of the things that we see in the sky, we see birds, right? So we're going to make some birds with our black gel. Okay. How do we make the birds? It's easy. They're kind of like a V. And what we do is we just kind of create that. And we know that birds tend to fly in a group. So what we do is we go ahead and we create that group. We're not looking to make much detail, just a little bit of the outline, so that we have an idea of what it is. We don't want too much gel on the brush, just a little bit, because you can always kind of go back over it and add a little bit more. It looks very nice. See the birds? Very nice. We cured for 30 seconds. Now we're going to go back in again. Just a little bit with the birds. Just a little bit, not much. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I hope I'm in frame. Just a little bit. What kind of birds are these? Whatever kind you want them to be. Whatever kind you want them to be. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to cure this for another 30 seconds. I was thinking it might be nice to have a little bit of the sun kind of peeking from behind the clouds. Let's see how we can create that. I think we'll take the dotting tool, right? And then we'll go right in with the yellow. Just a little bit, a faint bit of yellow behind the cloud. Just a little bit. Oh, I'm not in frame. That looks nice. Can kind of go around that cloud. I think that looks nice. Just a little bit more. Give a little bit more definition. I think that looks nice. I think that looks very nice. Now we're going to cure for 30 seconds. I think what we'll do is we'll go around the cloud just a little bit more. But this time we're going to use the detailer brush. To kind of go, to have that cloud covering a little bit more of the sun. I think that looks beautiful. Sun is just peeking out just a little bit, right? I think that looks very nice. I think that looks very nice. Cure this with 30 seconds. I think this looks very, 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 very pretty. Very pretty. Can you see some of that detailing? Looks very nice. Very nice. You can see the sky. So it fades a little bit, the horizon kind of, and then you see the grass. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go a little bit more with some of the grass, just a little bit more. We're going to go with the deeper color again, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go over a little bit more, just a little bit more, so we can have those blades of grass, some kind of covering the flowers just a little bit, not completely covering, but just a little bit here and there. Just here and there, here and there, here and there, so that we can have the blend of colors. It's very pretty. Looks very nice. And we don't forget the corners, the edges. We always want to remember the edges, because that also needs to be paid attention to. Oops. I keep going out of frame. I apologize. I think that looks very pretty, very nice, very scenic, very, 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 very scenic. So we're going to cure this for 30 seconds. Now what we have is we're going to look, we're going to see if every bit of the nail is covered. Do we need to make any changes, anything additional? No. So now we're going to go in with a little bit of this glitter, and this glitter will add that little bit of a oomph. So we're going to go in with that glitter. We're going to go across the entire nail with that. Oops, can you see? Yeah. And it has kind of like it's a sparkly glitter, kind of with a little bit of a pink, kind of I don't know, like a burgundy-ish, pinkish kind of color into it. I don't know, can you see if I can? It's very pretty. Makes it look very whimsical. Now, because we are going in over the entire nail, what we're going to do is we're going to be certain that we clean up the sides, because we don't want the sides to be thick. So we take our brush, just any of our brushes, okay? It's not pretty because it's just to clean up the side walls. And then we go in, we put a little bit of alcohol on it, and then we go in on the side walls. And we clean up the edges. That way, the nail maintains the shape. That's very pretty. Very, very pretty. And we're going to cure this 30 seconds. Actually, what we did was we cured for a full 60 seconds because we went over the entire nail. Look how pretty that is. You see just a little bit of a twinkle, 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 right? Now, what we're going to do as well is to give it just a nicely kind of a muted look. We're going to take this milky white. Milky white works out quite nicely in a lot of different designs because it softens. And yeah, it softens quite nicely. Go here. We're going to go over the entire nail with that milky white. We're not adding any more. We're just kind of evening it out with that milky white. While it was curing before, we took that opportunity to clean up our work area, our palettes, and our brushes. So we see we did that milky white. I hope I was in frame when I was polishing it. I'm not certain if I was, but you can definitely see that milky white. You see why we only did one coat of the nude? Because we went in with so many more colors. We went in with quite a few layers to get that ombre. And then we went in with the glitter, then we went in with the milky white. So now we're going to cure for a full 60 seconds. Look how pretty that is. Look how pretty. See the sun peeking out behind the clouds, the birds, the flowers, the greenery. Now we're going to finish it off with the Beetles top coat. This is actually a very glossy top coat. It's a very nice top coat. And it comes in refill, which is a shiny top coat. So, yeah. So we are going across all over the nail. And since the glitter was very fine, I don't think that we need 2 coats to, in a sense, encapsulate the glitter, because I don't think we'll need to, because the top coat is quite thick and the glitter was quite fine. So I don't think it'll be an issue at all. I don't think so. Look how pretty that is. We cured the top coat for 120 seconds. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my pinky and see if it feels smooth all the way across. We let it cool down. We don't touch right away because we wouldn't want to disturb anything. So it feels quite smooth. We don't need a second coat. Oh, this is absolutely gorgeous. Now we're going to prepare to file. I file with the 80/80 grit. After filing, I go ahead, I brush it off. And what I like to do as well is I like to take my buffer and go across the edges because I do like them to be nice and crisp. However, I do like to go in and kind of go with that buffer just to be certain. It looks so beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. We have to make sure that the nail filing is even. The filing is complete, the dusting is complete. So now let's go ahead and look at this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful nail. We see how pretty the peaking of the sun is, how pretty it is. We see the sun peeking from behind the cloud. We see the clouds, the birds, the sky, and then the subtleness of the grass. How beautiful, how absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this mini tutorial. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the Legacy Nails Beauty and Health. Enjoy your day. Till next time. Bye.